Hey guys, welcome to another PBR battle, and this one I'm using my third swapper team, and this is the weirdest team you're ever gonna see. Kingdra and Arcanine, for those of you that don't, or like, you don't remember or you haven't seen it before, Kingdra and Arcanine are both walls, Heracross and Ninjask are both special, and Jolteon and my Cresselia are physical sweepers. So, yeah. I have taken the most OU Pokemon and changed them up. And I have a few other passes. I've got 2 more passes where I do this. And, yeah. One of them is with that Porygon Z and the mixed Zangoose. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, going to the Sunset Coliseum for the 3rd time in a row, because I love that Coliseum. And then they send out their Togekiss, and they send out their Golem. Now, let me just ask you a question. Is it just me, or is it like half of the time you have a good connection, and half of the time you have a bad connection? It's like, see, my Wi-Fi is really unresponsive, and it seems like theirs is far more responsive, because they were able to select both of their moves in half the time it took me to select mine. Like, they were able to select both of their moves in the time it took me to select one move. So it's like no matter what, you will always have either a very fast connection or a really slow connection. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, I go for Toxic and Protect. I go for Protect with Ninjask. Their Togekiss goes for Extreme Speed. Pretty smart move on their part. And then Toxic hits, which was good because I needed that to hit. Because I don't really have anything with me to take down a Togekiss. At least not for full health. Then this Golem goes for Earthquake. Ninjask protected, it doesn't even matter because I'm a flying type. And it does not even half to Arcanine. That's, well, that's after an Intimidate, but still, that's not half bad for a super effective and stab with an Earthquake from a Golem. Anyway, takes a little damage from Poison, I restore a little bit with my leftovers, and then I go for Will-O-Wisp on Golem, because I can really just make it totally unusable once I get a Will-O-Wisp on things. After I intimidate them, they become so incredibly worthless. So right here, I needed, because I thought they were going to go for another Extreme Speed trying to take me out, switch out Ninjask and bring in Kingdra. Because Kingdra is a monster of a wall. Just with Will-O-Wisp and Intimidate, these guys can become monstrous walls. You will not believe it. It's crazy. As long as it has naturally, like, okay defenses, I can pretty much turn it into a wall. As long as I can learn either Will-O-Wisp or Toxic. They go for Metronome. For some weird reason, they have Metronome on their Togekiss, and they get Sharpen, which I thought was really funny, because I thought he was going to start spamming Extreme Speed. Then he goes for Magnitude. Because Magnitude 8 does nothing to Arcanine, doesn't affect Togekiss, and does nothing to Kingdra. Because he's been intimidated, and he also has a Will-O-Wisp on him. Which is pretty devastating. So, Poison's damage is increasing, and I restore HP with both of my leftovers. Oh, and then they take damage from their burn. So, now that Golem and Togekiss have been properly status affected, I just go for the Helping Hand with Arcanine, and then once it loads, Kingdra will go for a Brine on Golem. One thing that's kind of funny with Kingdra, I didn't know what moveset I was going to have for it originally. Oh, by the way, they swap out their Golem and they bring in their Pinsir. I didn't know what moveset I wanted for it, so I actually have a minus special attack nature. I think it's like plus physical, or plus special defense minus special attack. I thought that was kind of funny, since my only attacking move is special. But it doesn't matter. Then they use Metronome again, they get Shockwave. Boom, doesn't do really a whole lot. Then I go for Helping Handed Brine, and get a critical and knock it out, which was really nice. Because that thing could have spelled trouble for me. I'm not really sure, but it could have. But anyway, Pinsir goes down to the Helping Handed critical hit Brine, and then Togekiss takes more damage from Poison, and I restore HP with my leftovers. Then they send their Aerodactyl out, and here I was starting to get just a little bit worried, but, you know, if Golem couldn't take me out with an Earthquake, then maybe Aerodactyl can't take me out with, like, I don't know, maybe Rock Slide or Stone Edge. So then I go for Will-O-Wisp on Aerodactyl, and then I just go for a Brine on Aerodactyl, just, you know, to take it out. So, one thing that was really nice, I didn't miss even once. They go for Ancient Power, which was kind of weird. I don't really know why you would want to have that unless your Aerodactyl has specs, and I don't think this one had specs because with Stab and that extra bit of special attack, I think it would have done a little bit more, or at least knocked me out. You know, because if you're going to have something swapped and you're going to have like a specs physical guy, then you're going to give it a special attacking nature. But anyway, Brine hits and does half, which was good, and then Togekiss also used Aura Sphere on me and knocked me out, which you saw because you're watching this. Or are you? But anyway, Togekiss takes damage from poison, and then out comes Mullet the Jolteon, which is a freaking awesome name for him. I just love that nickname. It's just so fitting. You know how he looks like all just regular in his face, and then he starts like getting all poofy and spiky and insanity in the back of his body? I love that. I think that's a perfect name for Jolteon. But anyway, go for Thunderfang on Togekiss, and then Kingdra goes for one more Brine, or I go for one more Brine, because Kingdra is not in command of its own mind. I control its mind. Anyway, go for one more Brine on Aerodactyl, just to knock its face out. So they go for another Ancient Power. Either they were just being weird, either they were going for the status, they were just being stupid, or their specs. I'm not really sure, but they should have gone with like Earthquake or something. Anyway, Thunderfang hits and knocks out Togekiss, which was great. I don't like Togekiss all that much. I think it's really cheap. It's like, you know, it's like Snorlax. It's like the perfect wall. It can take practically everything. But anyway, Thunderfang hits, knocks out Togekiss, and then Brine hits and knocks out Aerodactyl. Kaboom. He goes like freaking insane when he dies. So out comes their Golem again. And this is pretty much over now, you know. Because not only do I have a Brining Kingdra, I also, on my Ninjask, I have Solar Beam. So, yeah, Golem's not going to live through this. So, go for Double Kick on Golem. Jolteon has just a horrible physical move pool. Seriously, it's just freaking horrible. I was lucky to get Thunderfang. I really thought that Jolteon could learn Volt Tackle for some reason. Oh well. Anyway, Double Kick does about a quarter of its HP, and then Brine finishes it off. So yeah, there is my third swapper team for you. It's pretty freaking interesting, if I do say so myself.